Ace01. How you doing, fam?
My question was a Warhammer question.
Okay.
It was about it's basically saying is there another Primarch besides Guilliman that you're interested to learn about, maybe that you wanted to learn about? And then there's another question that I have that says, have you thought of any other books that you would get after you finish the Dark Imperium trilogy?
All right. So other Primarchs. Okay. So I'm a loyalist through and through. Like to my core, I'm a loyalist. So my favorite is Guilliman, but I have a feeling that Lionel Johnson is just waiting in the wings, and he's about to shoot up to like my absolute favorite.
The funny thing, yeah. Go ahead, continue.
No, go, man.
No, because the funny thing is, I think you will like Lionel Johnson. For me, he's like the only loyalist Primarch that I like. Every other Primarch that I like is traitor. So you might hate me a little bit,
no,
but
I mean it's all good. Are you a fan of Angron, the new Angron stuff that's come out?
Oh yeah, I love Angron. So on Audible, but I think you could find it in books. Each GW is actually trying to have Primarchs have their own Primarch books. So Guilliman has his own Primarch book, and Angron's Primarch book is actually one of the best ones, and it actually fleshes out his Legion and the Primarch, and you kind of feel for him in a way. You kind of because all the Primarchs have like a certain type of intellect. Like all the Primarchs are intelligent in their own way, right?
Yeah.
So Angron, even with the nails in his head, he still has that intelligence, and he's actually the one that has the best reason of betraying the Emperor and the Imperium, because he sees the Imperium for what it is, you know. So he to me, if you, I would say in my personal opinion, if you wanted to start maybe like learning about Primarchs, go to their Primarch book, which fleshes out sometimes their Legion and sometimes their Primarch.
Oh yeah, I mean, so the Angron has always been an interesting Primarch to me, just because his story is pretty tragic, literally from the start.
Absolutely,
he's got a very tragic story, and you could see from a mile away that this guy was gonna betray the Emperor, like no questions asked, right?
Oh yeah. I mean, he even killed the Custodian.
Yeah, I mean, the whole thing with Angron is you look at Angron, you go, right, this guy's so fucking angry. The betrayal is just it's gonna happen. And then you go look at all of the Chaos Gods and you go, I wonder which of these Chaos Gods would probably appeal to Angron most. And you go, oh, Khorne, yeah, this seems like a match made in heaven. This seems like it was built for each other, you know?
Absolutely.
So I feel like if I were to get into traitor Primarchs, which I don't think I would, but if I were to, Angron would probably be one of my favorites. At the end of the day, though, it is like, bro, Emperor protects. I am a huge loyalist.
Absolutely. No, I understand it completely. I love, like, Lionel Johnson is literally one of my most favorite, second favorite Primarch in period, point blank. First is, of course, Alfarius of the Alpha Legion.
But wait. Are you now assuming that Alfarius is loyalist?
He is both loyalist and also a loyalist, and also more loyalist. Yes, absolutely.
It's his brother you gotta watch out for.
Yeah, it's his brother you gotta watch out for.
Yeah, but there's even even his brother is like question mark.
Don't worry about all that, man. It's all part of the plan.
Oh, he's
still a loyalist. Out of the end of the day, he's still you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and I'm pretty sure his brother's dead. Don't worry about it.
Oh yeah, his brother is dead.
Oh my god,
it's really funny. If you read the Alfarius book, you're gonna be so confused at the end. But what I was gonna say about Lionel Johnson is that you probably will like him because he commands so much respect. There's actually a Reddit thread that somebody made about him that he is basically they did like different excerpts, and even his own brothers talked about him like he's basically like he moves like an apex predator in disguise as like a noble man. I think there was one time where he went onto Horus's flagship, and Lionel Johnson was so pissed at Horus, so mad at him, that he caused all of the Astartes from different legions to kneel.
What the?
Like, he forced them to kneel.
Was this before Horus became?
Yeah. This was before Horus became, because what he did was he used parts of Lionel Johnson's Legion without Lionel Johnson knowing.
Oh.
So when Lionel Johnson found out, he walked in and there was like the Death Guard, there was the regular, his own Legion, the Dark Angels, and then of course Horus's Legion was also in there.
Yeah.
So just like when they were trying to do like a procession, Horus was on his throne chair. All the other legions were like surrounding Horus, so they were waiting for Lionel Johnson to walk through. And when he came in, he caused everybody to just kneel. And people weren't, like, the Astartes weren't even trying to look at Lionel Johnson, because they said that if they were to look at him, it would be like to be caught in the eyes of an apex predator. So Lionel Johnson is a beast.
Dude,
he is
and there's rumors that he's the next one coming back.
Yeah, there is rumors that he is because I think there's a new chaos entity who's not aligned to any of the 4 chaos gods. His name
Vashtor.
Vashtor. And I think he was spotted trying to be on the Dark Angel's flagship and trying to he wanted to get something on the Dark Angel. It's not specified, or I haven't learned anything yet, but he's trying to get something on the Dark Angel's flagship, but he's basically like attacking different parts of the Imperium, and he's now working with Abaddon to foil the Imperium's plans. So it's being heard that the Rock, which is like the Dark Angel's
their ship
flagship, is moving around like the galaxy. Like it's they're wrecking shit, and somebody said they spotted the lion or something. So Lionel Johnson might make the biggest comeback. So I'm very interested to see what they do with
the
Lionel
Imperium.
Johnson.
Just needs him, because from what I've heard, Angron is on a fucking tear right now. He is just wrecking the Imperium. Apparently in the new books, he's going fucking apeshit.
I think I didn't know if he was on Armageddon or if he's in like just flying around the Imperium. But I mean, Fulgrim is back too. Fulgrim is being spotted around the galaxy. Magnus is being spotted around the galaxy, and of course I don't know what book you're on for the Dark Imperium. Are you on the second book?
I'm literally about to finish the second book. Yeah.
Oh, okay. So yeah, then Mortarion, he's in Ultramar. So
yep, Mortarion.
So
I fucking hate that guy with everything in me. Just by the way, he's a little pussy.
Honestly,
he's probably the most pussy Primarch out there.
I'm a huge Nurgle fan and a huge Death Guard fan too. For some reason, I actually own a couple models.
Yeah, but my problem. Okay, so here's my problem with Mortarion. Okay, he has this captain. What's the captain's name again?
Typhus.
Typhus.
That's the one. That is just the most insubordinate on the planet.
Oh yeah.
And yet Mortarion doesn't do anything. Like, he doesn't stop him or kill him. He's just sort of like, yeah, okay, he questions me the whole time. What am I supposed to do, right? It's not like I'm his boss.
Well, that's the thing. He can't. Mortarion of the Demon Primarchs is very interesting in the sense that most of the Demon Primarchs were chosen or manipulated or made deals to become champions of the Chaos God that raised them up.
Yeah.
That was not what happened to Mortarion. Mm-hmm. From the get-go, Typhus was Nurgle's champion, was Nurgle's herald. And the agreement that Typhus made with Nurgle was to bring those that would become known as the Death Guard and Mortarion into the realm of chaos, into Nurgle's manse. So while Mortarion is his superior and is a demon Primarch, technically Typhus is protected by Nurgle to a point that Mortarion can't do anything about that, because in Nurgle's eyes, his first captain is the true champion of the Death Guard.
So but is Typhus stronger than Mortarion, or is Mortarion still stronger than Typhus?
It's not really specified, I don't think, is it?
I would say just given Mortarion's lineage, the fact that he's a Primarch, so he's literally a son of the Emperor, the fact that he probably has some latent psychic abilities that he didn't like, but he can use now as a demon prince, and the fact that he is a Demon Prince probably makes him stronger than Typhus, who's just a Space Marine psyker that is souped up. I know he has the Destroyer Plague, but I think he has one other plague of important housed in his physical body.
Yeah.
I'd still say Mortarion is stronger, but Typhus just has that title of the Herald of Nurgle, and the fact that Nurgle watches over him, that just makes him more threatening, because basically attacking Typhus is attacking Nurgle.
Yeah. So I mean, even each of the Chaos Gods has a champion besides the Primarch. The Primarch was just like was basically like the end all be all to take the Emperor's plans and twist it. Yeah. But each of the Chaos Gods has their own Astartes champion. So I mean, Fulgrim may be, the demon Primarch of Slaanesh, but Lucius is probably what best exemplifies Slaanesh. Karn, the Betrayer, is best what exemplifies the Khorne instead of Angron, because Angron is just raving fuck mad. At least Karn can make coherent words. Angron can't.
What about that new lord that they introduced with the War Leaders? Sorry.
No, it's fine.
What about the new lore?
Lord. They introduced a new lord who's on a juggernaut that seems to actually be a lot more. Instead of just being a slavering madman that's just all war, this guy is literally using tactics and is sort of like the Zen warrior monk that people were wanting. Like he's on the opposite spectrum of war as an art instead of just just fighting like mad. You perform basically you perform it as a sacrifice or an religious offering to Khorne.
I mean, that to me sounds like something they're trying to make the Chaos Gods seem more like give them a duality, because I mean, everybody had the initial idea that the fucking
they've always had a duality. But
yeah, because they were always they were tempting. There's actually a Imperial Guard regiment that is aligned to Khorne that is exactly what you're describing. So an entire Imperial Guard regiment that basically they believe in the Emperor's divinity and power, but they just believe that Khorne exemplifies what they want better, and they're more coherent, they're more organized, and they respect the Imperium, but they just want to do combat, and it's just regular combat. There's an entire Imperial Guard regiment basically for Khorne, which is not crazy.
Fucking heretics. Call the Inquisitor. Like, how dare they? Long live the Emperor. Anyways, just to bring this back a little, Digit, I see your chat there, and I just wanted to say, is there a difference between power levels between books, novels, and games in the Warhammer 40k universe? From my understanding, and so far from what I've seen, not really. They do a pretty decent job of, even on the tabletop, if something is super stupidly powerful in the lore, it's going to be super stupidly powerful in the tabletop as well. But then it's going to cost like fuck tons of points to even try and get that thing on your table. And you might lose the game long before you've even been able to get that thing on the table, so to speak. Now, obviously in the lore, they're probably able to make it a lot cooler. And in the lore, you could have something that can one-shot things, which obviously isn't going to happen on the tabletop, because what would be the point? You have this thing that can just one-shot an entire army, game over. Thanks for playing. That's not going to be a lot of fun. So there's probably a little bit of gameplay fuckery going on, where they sort of dumb things down or make things a little bit less powerful. But in general, from what I understand, if something is good at something in the lore, it's going to be good at that something in the tabletop as well. With some exceptions, probably. But yeah, I'm not a tabletop player, so I obviously don't know. What I know of tabletop is only the videos that I've watched of people sort of talking about tabletop stuff. But whatever game you're ever going to play, there's always going to be a difference between the lore and the actual game. That's guaranteed. It's always going to be there.
And to kind of bring it full circle, I think that Warhammer, there's counterpoints to it, but Warhammer is doing a good job of making the lore and the rules around like the models represent exactly what they want to say. And I feel like WoW is starting to correct course to meet that point again.
Oh yeah, I agree with that. I absolutely agree with that. But I'll definitely get into those books, Ace, because I would like to know more about Lionel Johnson, Angron as well, just because he's got that tragic fucking story. For some reason, I've just always disliked Horus. I don't know why. I've just always thought Horus is a bit of a bitch.
He's one of the traitor Primarchs I don't like.
Yeah. I'll definitely get into it at some point, but for now, The Dark Imperium has my heart. That book is just phenomenal.
Yeah, but no, I was just gonna say, like, after that entire trilogy, do you have any idea of where you wanted to like lead next? Maybe an Inquisitor book, or just another Primarch book, or maybe an Imperial Guard story. I don't know if you have an idea of what direction you maybe want to go in.
Yeah, I mean, in a perfect world, I would go straight into the Horus Heresy. But getting the books for the Horus Heresy that isn't audiobook is like, finding a person to just jack you off in the middle of the street whenever you fucking need it, right? It's almost impossible. So instead, I'll probably get into Eisenhorn Omnibus, because I have Eisenhorn here.
Oh, okay, perfect. Yeah, I finished the Eisenhorn trilogy a couple months ago. It's really good, very good. I would say, I know you said you don't like audiobooks, which is really good. The Horus Heresy, certain voice narrators are absolutely terrible. I feel like you'd fall asleep and you'd probably delete your phone in general after you heard, some of these audiobooks. There's certain narrators that are really great, but some of them that they hired to read some of these books on Audible is just, oh my god, I couldn't even finish.
Yeah,
I think it was like 3 books. I think I'm on Horus Heresy book number 14 or 15, but man, there was like 3 of them that sucked.
Yeah, I mean, I'm trying my best. I keep like getting distracted. I can't get. I'm busy with Horus Rising right now, and it is a fucking slow roll, bro. Like, I have listened to the where they take is he called Logan? I think it's is it Logan when he gets Loken when he gets sort of made part of the what's it called?
The Mournival.
The Mournival. That's the one. Yes, when they take him to the dam or the lake, and they're standing there in the moon and shit. I've listened to that thing 3 times. As you can tell, I'm struggling to keep anything because I'll get like halfway through that, and then I'll just drift off, and I'll start thinking about something else. 2 chapters later, I'm like, wait, I'm actually, oh shit, I've missed the book.
Exactly.
So then I have to go back and try and fucking focus.
But I would say this. If you see an audiobook, if it has the narrator Jonathan Keeble or Andrew, I think it's Andrew Wincott. Those two are some of the best narrators that you probably will ever love for anyone. For any book, probably, because they put passion into their narration. Some of these people, they don't put any passion, but they if you ever you won't listen to any trader books, so never mind.
No, I will listen. I'm eventually gonna read every single book there is.
Oh, me too. That's what I want to do. The Night Lords trilogy, the Night Lords trilogy, and I think Morning, have you heard the Night Lords trilogy?
Yeah, but I tend to stick to a lot more fantasy novels. The first
Moni is a fantasy bitch.
I love 40K. Don't get me wrong. My favorite novel from them is Belisarius Caul's The Great Work, just because I love the character of Belisarius Caul.
Belisarius Caul is fucking cool.
He is
scary and creepy as fuck, but cool.
No, he's crazy.
Yeah.
He's just crazy. I think he's crazy. But yeah, Night Lords trilogy, is one of the best audiobooks also ever, and it goes into depth on the Night Lords. But if you're ever wanting to read, there's also Primarch books. So if you ever like have a particular Primarch that you're interested in, each one is they're trying to make a book for each one.
Yeah.
So it'll be good if you ever do read the Angron, I'd love to hear your review on it.
All right, I will do. I'm actually, people asked me just before the stream if I would ever start like a book club. And I said, yeah, that's one of the plans I have, where I want to do synopses of WoW books and Warhammer books. So basically, you know, every month take a book and do like a series of that book, 4 or 5 videos, doing a complete synopsis of all the lore and all the happenings within that book. For anyone that doesn't give a fuck and don't want to read the books, that will give them sort of the story of what the book was all about, what happened in the book, what was the cool stuff in the book. Because I don't know if there's anyone that actually does stuff like that. So that's something that I would love to do, just because I enjoy shit like that. So that is a plan that I have.
I don't see a lot of people covering the books except when they connect to the new battle tomes when they come out. Then they will, you know, pull some stuff from the books to like support the theory, or they go into the general lore of something in particular, and they'll go, and then in this book you'll find, and then they just, you know, will give a synopsis of the parts that feed into the video they're making. But covering the books in and of themselves, I've never seen.
Yeah, well, just because I thought someone in chat, Toby Longworth, Mr. Demura, Toby Longworth is also another good narrator. I almost missed him as well. Yeah, because he's the one that actually reads the Eisenhorn trilogy. The Eisenhorn trilogy. So Toby Longworth is a good one. Yeah, Alco, keep doing what you're doing. I love your videos, love your streams, love your work,
bro.
Thank you. Take your time with everything.
That.
You guys have a good one. All right.
All right. Take care of yourself,
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
All right.
Appreciate it, man.